So my name is Tony. I'm an engineer by training. Right? So I've been in the manufacturing and IT industry for 27 years. So I've taken on different roles, process manufacturing, product design, tech marketing, and one of my previous roles is actually a service delivery with Hewlett Packard Enterprise as the regional manager. So the game changer came upon back in 2015 when I was asked to lead a team of volunteers within the organization in the Social Impact Committee, in short the SIC. We strategized, formulated and executed a lot of CSR plans with the intention to benefit the needy in the community. And what is very encouraging is actually we saw how lives have changed and how our volunteers have created the impact in the community. I'm a person who values diversity and inclusion, and I am also a strong advocate and believe that everyone is unique and special. So in my personal capacity, I have actually been volunteering with a couple of social services agencies, and that actually enhanced and has given me a lot of exposure as far as community work is concerned. Now, of course, on a personal note, I'm married with two grown-up girls right now, right? So, and in my free time, I like to do exercises, like hiking, cycling, and recently I picked up gardening as well. Well, before I started fundraising for APHN, in fact, I didn't know about APHN, right? So at that time, I was approached by Mr. Giam, my friend and my ex-colleague, and he has been seeing me posting a lot of my activities on Facebook. So he reached out to me and asked me whether I'm interested to raise funds for APHN, and that was when I started to know more about APHN. Now, of course, initially I was a bit apprehensive because I've not done fundraising before, but of course, Mr. Giam reassured me that this is going to be a very free and easy way of fundraising, and that kind of like given me assurance that I should be able to do that. So 2 years back, I started fundraising, and last year I continued with the event. Okay, so I suffer from cervical spondylosis. For the longest time, I've been experiencing a lot of pain due to my degeneration of my cervical spine. Right. So, and I frequently have relapses, and that kind of like limit my activities, things that I love to do. Right. So when I came to know about APHN, I wanted to raise awareness of this particular group of people who may be facing similar challenges in life, right? And I hope to be able to, through APHN, raise the awareness on how we can continue to lead an active lifestyle despite health challenges that we may be facing, right? And that prompted me to really reach out to my families, my colleagues, my friends, and that prompted me to actually took the extra mile to want to get myself involved with APHN fundraising events. I live at the northwest part of Singapore, so that's where we have a lot of nature reserves. So typically I will do my hiking or walking around Kranji area, the Chestnut Nature Park, which I love it a lot because of the great nature that we get to experience there. And of course, with the recently completed rail corridor from Kranji all the way to Tanjung Pagar, right? So, and in fact, for the whole rail corridor, I did that complete route to and fro last year during the APHN fundraising event. And I mentioned earlier about cycling. I love cycling as well, right? I used to cycle around Island, and during the first year of APHN fundraising, actually I did Round Island a couple of times. Right? right? So typically I will cycle where my heart brings me, right? I'll just set off from my home and depending on the weather as well. So I'll just cycle where my heart brings me, maybe to Sentosa, to Pasir Ris, to Lim Chu Kang, right? So and as for running, I kind of like cut back because of my knee. I both my knees actually kind of given way because I've done a lot of full marathons and half marathons in the past, right? So I was being advised to just cut back on running, right? So yeah, so I'm going to just focus on hiking and walking. Well, certainly, during the first year when it was my first time doing the cycling. So it was cycling 300 kilometers over 3 Saturdays, and for obvious reasons, I did not train enough, right? So during my first attempt on the first Saturday, I experienced very bad cramps, on my thighs, so I almost couldn't complete the last stretch of the journey, right? But thank God I have my buddy who was with me, and he kind of has given me a lot of morale booster. So he pushed me on, and I was being able to complete the last stretch of that cycling stretch. Yeah, that was during the first year. And last year, similarly, when I was attempting to complete that 50 kilometers in one day, right, over 150 kilometers over 3 Saturdays, and each time I could do 50 kilometers along the whole rail corridor. It was very challenging, and again for obvious reasons, right? Especially in the afternoon when the weather was hot and dry, and it was so scorching hot, and coupled with the SMM that happened last year, right? Because the government didn't allow a lot of people to gather, so most of my journeys actually I did it alone, right? So mentally it has been very, very challenging, right? However, I was able to stay focused, right? Because I have the mission on hand. I want to really complete my mission, and I want to make sure that I continue to raise awareness to people around me about what APHN has done to support this palliative care network and the people around this region, right? Who desperately, and in fact they are really in need of this palliative care support. So with this in mind, I was able to complete my journey, despite all the challenges, and in fact I was during the first walk, I was hit by back cramps as well, because by the time I hit about 30 kilometers, both my legs started to give way, but I persevered and managed to complete the distance. Right, yeah, so challenges there will be, but I think I also had a lot of support from my friends and family members, so that pushed me on. Well, in fact, I've been thinking about that. What should I do this year? So I've done the cycling in first year. Last year I've done the hiking. So should I do swimming this year? But I'm not really a good swimmer. I did try a triathlon last time, but I almost drowned. So I reckon that I should not attempt something that is too risky. Right? I'm going to just keep this as a secret, right? Closer to the date, I shall disclose to you, right, what I'm going to do for APHN this year. So as a Christian, it is my conviction and belief that everyone is equal and deserves the dignity that he or she is entitled to. Every human being is loved, be it rich or poor, whether they are able or differently able. So it is only when we start to treat each other equal and respect each other, and that we all play our part, be it big or small, that we can actually make a difference. So I would want to encourage all the supporters of APHN to believe that you can actually make a change in the world and be part of this whole fundraising event. Now, one of my favorite quotes is actually, you can see from my LinkedIn or personal Facebook page. Be the change that you want to see in the world. And of course, this famous quote is from Gandhi, who believes that change comes within ourselves, and subsequently we'll start to propagate to people around us, and later on to the whole community at large. I personally also believe that not everyone can do great things. However, everyone can do small things with great love. So right now, I want to appeal to all of you, supporters, friends of APHN. Let's reach out to all the palliative care patients so that they can lead a dignified and meaningful life. So do join me in the World Hospice Palliative Care Day event with APHN.